weird. We've destroyed Catholicism. Today we're going to get back to my favorite topic, which is dismantling.
Mine too.
Dismantling the absurd religion of atheism. And I know that my friend Rob had the displeasure of debating an atheist named Kem.
Yeah, that's coming up in June, where Gary's going to be the moderator.
And Kem thinks life coming from non-life is the most reasonable explanation. And this is what I mean. These people are obsessed with X-Men pictures and comics and everything. And they start to think, but that's for a side topic. But they start to think that their X-Men comics are real life. I'm telling you, they think they're like life coming from non-life is not a possibility, but you see it in their X-Men pictures, right? So they start to think that it's real life. These are not intelligent people. They're not. Like, I don't care what the TV tells you. These aren't intelligent.
They also think that macroevolution. Oh no.
What was that?
No. In my mind, like when I'm working stuff out between me and God, in my mind, I'm like, these people are. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these people they don't believe their own arguments.
No, their arguments are ridiculous. And Kem is a guy, and Rob has recorded, thinks that you can prove math equations, that you can prove math scientifically. I mean, I can't. Yeah. This is like these people know absolutely nothing. They've somehow made it. What is Kem in his 30s? He somehow made it to adulthood with zero
24.
intellectual curiosity.
24. He's 24.
Okay. All right.
He's 24. Kevin's 24.
I mean, he's an adult, but I mean,
legally,
he's young. Yeah, legally he's an adult, but he's still young.
Yeah, he's young.
Okay. But these people have made it to adulthood without knowing anything. They have zero intellectual curiosity. Zero. They can't put two thoughts that go together, right? They can't.
I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing at the epistemology of the word. What's the word? Agnostic. Yeah.
Without knowledge.
You see the tweet I did for the breakdown, right?
Yeah. Agnostic means without knowledge, no knowledge, right? And then the Latin
where we get the Latin ignoramus.
Ignoramus. So if you're calling yourself an agnostic, you're calling not me. This is not me calling you. This is you calling.
No, this is the epistemology of the word.
You're calling yourself a no knowledge ignoramus.
Exactly. That's more succinctly my tweet, but that sums up my tweet in like perfectly. And if you're an agnostic atheist, then you're a self-proclaimed unknowingly ignoramus who doesn't have a relationship with God.
And the problem with agnostic is like, look, agnosticism, it claims no knowledge, is an intellectually consistent position, except it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah,
exactly. Like, because you can't even know that you have no knowledge.
This conversation. I don't know. Do you know that you don't know? I don't know. Do you know? It's just like, okay.
It's circular absurdity.
It's absurd, right? Like, do you know that I'm talking to you? I don't know. Like, so you know nothing. I don't know. So do you know that you don't know? Right? It's not atheism. It's an intellectually consistent position, except it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
right?
Because
like,
the thing is,
you can't. No meaningful
it's like saying
or dialogue in anything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like saying like you can't even know that you have no knowledge that you have no knowledge. It's
yeah.
You see how crazy that is.
And sometimes you'll get agnostics who are bad at agnosticism who will say, I know the only thing I know is I don't know. Well, do you know that to be true? So now you know.
You know something.
Yeah, so now you know something. So now you also know everything because you know that that's the only thing that you actually know. So you have to have all knowledge to know the only thing you know is that.
Yeah.
It's just like, but those are the people who are bad. There are people who are good at agnosticism.
And the other thing too is like
mind-numbing.
And the other thing is, remember we've talked about this. The only way to know that there is no God is to be at all times and all places from eternity to eternity. Right? So in other words, the only way to know that there is no God is to be God.
Right? Because without full knowledge, God could exist in the knowledge that you don't have. And then you can't say. So to say, I know that there's no God.
Space that you can be.
Yeah.
So
and then you'll get this
just
atheist
absurd.
argument. And I've had this, and I can't take them anymore. You've had this atheist argument that I don't have to prove my claim. No, you do have to prove your claim. Right? If I claim God exists, that burden of proof is on me. If you say God doesn't exist, well, you've just made a claim. Now you have to prove your claim. Just because your claim is retarded and you can't prove it doesn't give you a pass from logic. You still have to prove it. No, I don't have to prove my claim. No, I don't have to prove anything. Okay.
Well, remember,
you said God's not
the common rebuttal to play devil's advocate is the common rebuttal to play devil's advocate is, well, I can't prove a negative.
You can absolutely prove a negative. I'll do 5 of them in the next 5 seconds. So that's wrong. I don't know who told you that. Okay, prove you can't prove a negative. You can't do that, right? And if you can't prove your claim, the burden of proof is still on you, so don't make it, right? And now because I'm a sport, I'm going to prove 3 negative claims. There are no Shintos. There are no Shintos in the Texas State Senate. Okay, I go through each state senator. No Shintos. Just prove the negative. There's no mustard in my fridge. I hate mustard. If there's mustard in my fridge, it's going to be a. I go through my fridge. I take everything out of my fridge. Nope, no mustard in my fridge. Here's my wallet. There is no US $5 million bill in my wallet. I go through my wallet, take everything out. Nope, no US $5 million bill. I've just proved 3 negatives. Mm-hmm. So when you say you can't prove a negative, I've just done it 3 times. I literally.
I'll pull on my wallet right now, and there's no
US $5 million bill. There's no money. All right, go through the whole thing.
There's no money. There's no American money.
There is no money. Money does
There's
not
no American
exist.
money. There's no American Canadian money in my wallet.
There's no Canadian money in my wallet.
Okay, sorry.
I just proved it. So
there is 1 dime Canadian. I have no American currency in my wallet.
There is no American currency.
I'm not American.
Just prove the negative. Right, I can prove just as many negatives as I can positives. Like, I don't know where, like, that is a religious belief that the atheists have. Like so many of their other religious beliefs, that can be debunked in 5 seconds. Like, I can prove negatives all day. 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 5.
I can prove.
Bring me coconuts, I'll prove it doesn't equal 5. I'll prove a negative. I'll prove negatives all day. Like, I don't know where this came from.
What about 2? 2 minus 4 is minus 2.
Well, I just keep it simple. 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 5. I can prove that negative, right? I can prove negatives all day. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know where where that religious belief came from, but it's ridiculous. It's like just.
Well, it's about shifting the burden of proof.
But they say it all the time. I don't have to prove my claim, or I can't prove a negative. I had one.
The burden of proof is on you.
I had one atheist say that. Atheists don't have to prove their claims. No, you don't get a religious exemption from logic. Okay, yes, you are a fool for being an atheist, but no, you don't get logic doesn't cease to exist because you choose a certain religion, atheism. But no, you still have to prove your claim. And like these are just very unserious anti-intellectual people. Right? They're opposed to the idea of intellectualism. They hate intellectualism.
Oh yeah.
They hate it. Right? Like and I
posted like a week or 2 ago, Gary, that the reason that atheists attack is because they have no foundation and they know it.
If you ask me, why? Give me the argument for the existence of God. I would say, well, time, space, and matter had a beginning, right? Every atheist will agree with that. If time, space, and matter had a beginning, whatever caused time, space, and matter to come into existence
must be outside of time, space, and matter.
Spaceless, immaterial. It had to have free will to choose to create. It had to have intelligence to create. Okay, so whatever you would like to call that timeless, space, and powerful, timeless, spaceless, immaterial, intelligent creator who freely chose to design is what I'm calling God. Whatever you would like to call it, that's fine. I'm calling it God. So it's a logical necessity, not even a logical conclusion. It's a logical necessity. So that's that's my proof. And if you ask an atheist to prove their claim, I lack a belief, slavery in the Bible. It's like make an argument. But they can't, right? Because they don't believe what they're saying. They have no knowledge on what they're saying. They haven't thought about it for 5 seconds. Like they've not thought about their religion for 5 seconds, not 5. They just go with it. That's what they were taught in government school.
It's like you said some time ago. Atheism sets you up to say things aren't true.
Aren't true. That's all it is. It's one big exercise to say things that aren't true. That when you get the ultimate question, the big question, is there a God? You're comfortable with lying, and you can say no, there's no God.
Yeah, because you've already
is an exercise to get you to say things aren't true.
Yeah, because the thing is that at that point, it's like the Nazis, for example. I'm using this analogously. For example, there were a lot of Germans that were not okay with what Hitler was doing at first, but then Hitler said, "Well, if you don't side with me, I'm going to take your wife or children from you, or I'm going to cut you from labor, or I'm going to basically make it so your living conditions are so unbearable that you're going to do it. You're going to reluctantly join the SS." And then most of them think, okay, well, like I have a wife and a family I need to support, and I'd rather join the SS than that. And then, but some of them still didn't, still resisted, and were suffered greatly for it.
If you came to me and said, denounce Jesus Christ, or I'm going to throw you in jail. Okay, throw me in jail. I'll start a Bible ministry. I'll start a men's Bible ministry in prison. Throw me in jail. I will kill you. I'll go live with Jesus forever. So go kill me. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing you can do to me. So
no, because to live is Christ, to die is gain.
Right. I'm not going to deny Christ. So whatever you're going to do to me, you're going to do to me. There's nothing. Right? Like either way, you throw me in jail. I don't want to go to jail. I'll just start a Bible study with men in church in prison. You want to kill me? I'll go live.
Basically, you're going to be in the modern day Paul. You're going to be a modern day Paul.
Well, we're told to be disciples, right? Yeah.
Simple. Exactly. But I mean, that's Paul's disposition. He was thrown in jail, started ministering to the people in jail. They said, if you kill me, all right, I'm going to be with Jesus. So this Christ till die is gain.
And
I mean, either way, we win either way.
Jesus said to make disciples of every living creature, right? So I don't care where you throw me. There's people I can make disciples there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter where I go. Wherever I go, there I am, right? And then my job, wherever I am, is to make disciples of and share the gospel with those people.
Mm-hmm. So
it's a simple mission.
Here's the thing about Chem. This is kind of weird, but he asked me last night if I'd be interested in helping him sum up a demon and then exorcise it. This is the mindset of him.
But they're children. You want to entertain it, so okay. I don't see the purpose of entertaining. You think he's being serious?
Oh, of course not.
Right. So like
he gives the impression that, oh, I'm totally serious. You're going to come up to Canada, and I'm going to summon a demon. Then you can just be partaking in the exorcism. Like what? This is the mindset of what we're dealing with. Like you said, fundamentally unserious.
Everyone knows an atheist, right? Like everyone knows an atheist. Ask yourself this question: that atheist, right? I want to win the Christ. Is that a serious person who is on a mission for truth? The answer is always no.
No.
No one went on a mission to find truth and came up with atheism. Atheism was what you were indoctrinated with as a religion from government school, from the time you walked into kindergarten at 5 years old to today. And that's why you're an atheist. Mm-hmm. It's mind control. Yeah, and if you look at every country that did atheism as a state religion, it was forced on them, and they had to do it, right? I live in a country that's largely secular, and I came to Christ. I came to Christ because it was true, right? No one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The world, the country would be a much happier place. Joe Biden and the powers that be would be much happier if I did not follow Christ, because then I would follow government, right? I mean, it's kind of the two. You can follow Christ or you can follow government. They would much rather me follow them.
Jesus said you follow God or you can follow mammon, but you cannot serve two masters.
You can't serve two masters, right? So this is why the bigger the government, the more it hates Christianity.
Of course.
The bigger the government, the more it hates and the more it embraces atheism. That's why when you have people like Kem who say that he's a libertarian or an anarcho-capitalist and an atheist, it makes no sense. It makes
no.
zero
Here's the
sense.
thing.
It logically
Oh,
makes
I
zero
know, I know.
sense.
Of course, but the thing is, remember one time I said that something about God being the ultimate moral standard, and Ken said something like, "I reject the premise. Give me liberty or give me death." And like, you don't understand what you're saying. Like, Christ literally came to set the captives free, and the Lord, the word says, "Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom."
Liberty. Yeah.
So,
well, yeah,
liberty that you're looking for is in Christ, that you're in the Christ that you're denying, which is circular absurdity.
But when you look at atheism, their religion, and its association with Darwinism, why would people be free? Why? Like, the people aren't unique. There's no spark of divinity. It's not made in the image of God. So why would humans be free? Why would humans have freedom? Why couldn't I own as many? Like, what's wrong with that? Right? I can own a pig. I can own a cow. Why is a human different than any other beast?
And in their religion, it's not.
It's not, right? And also, when you look at like cancer, there's a kids with cancer is an evil. Wouldn't it be good in your religion? It would eliminate the weak. It would eliminate the elderly. It would make more resources for the strong and fit. So wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
I don't follow.
Yeah, that'd be good for natural selection, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be great for natural selection. You get rid of the weak. You wouldn't treat them. You wouldn't treat someone with cancer. If kid got cancer, you'd let him die to get those genes out of the gene pool, right? So they don't actually believe their own religion. They don't believe their own religion. They haven't thought about it. And then when you force them to think about it, right? You'll get this all the time from atheists. Morals are relative. There's no absolute morality. Morals are subjective. The Bible is
that absolute.
Is that an absolute statement? You get it all the time with these people. I mean, they don't think about anything they say ever. Their ability to separate themselves from themselves is just mind-blowing. It's like, this is why I can't engage. If I'm going to have a debate with them, we're going to debate one topic. There's going to be a moderator. Yeah. If you stray from that topic, we're going to go back to the topic. And if you lie 3 times, the conversation is over. These aren't hardened rules. I mean, it's just a reasonable debate. We're going to tell the truth, and we're going to debate a topic, right? We're not going to be talking creationism and go talking snakes. And this is another thing, right? They say
talking snakes and donkeys, man.
Talking snakes. Okay, stop. Let me stop.
Oh my God.
In the Jewish story of creationism, how many snakes? You said snakes, plural. How many snakes are talking to each other? So
one snake was talking to
talking snakes. There's one possessed snake.
No.
Okay. So there wasn't talking snakes. That was a lie. But
it was.
So there weren't snakes talking to each other. You said snakes, plural. You're very specific.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen either.
I think we need to be more specific with the rest of the show. We've got 20 minutes.
My favorite thing is when an atheist criticizes something in the Levitical law, right? Like some.
Oh, it's amazing.
They don't like.
By what standard? Right?
See, Christian, see, I'm a Christian.
By what standard?
That doesn't apply to me. Yeah. Christ fulfilled the law. That got nothing to do with me. Your problem is with Jews. You hate Jews, and then they don't know what to do, right? Because they can't criticize Jews. That's not allowed. So now,
no.
This is. I'm not a Jew from Israel.
Yeah, but
I'm a Christian in the Republic of Texas. That law is not applicable to me in any way, shape, or form. That's like saying there's a speed limit in Israel. I have to abide by it. No, I don't.
There's the thing, Gary. The texts that apply to us are Matthew 7:5-17-20, and Romans 11, for the engrafted branches. And Christ is a fulfillment of the law, and Christ, in fulfilling the law, engrafted us into the vine, in Romans 11. Those are the ones that apply to us. They wouldn't even know that because they're ignorant.
They wouldn't even know where to start. Yeah.
I was asking a Catholic the other day. This is actually related. if he's actually ever read the entire Bible cover to cover. He's
No,
talking
Catholics
about,
have it.
well, I've read,
No.
and he's like, oh, I read Thomas of Aquinas and
Yeah.
Augustus, and
Okay, I asked you a question. Have you read the Bible? Right?
yeah,
Like, it's crazy though when you read the Bible. Like, my parents' house has a problem with mold, right? And they can't get a mold out of their house.
okay,
I'm reading Leviticus.
right,
Yes, I'm just because I haven't studied Leviticus in a long, like really studied Leviticus in a long time. So I got back into Leviticus. I'm in chapter 14, I think it is. I was reading it yesterday, and it's talking about mold. And if you build a house and there's mold on the building material, you have to tear the whole house down. And if it spreads, you have to. And it's like there's so much knowledge and so much truth in those laws that are thousands of years old. Right? Like it's amazing. There's no way to get rid of mold in 2024. There's no way to get rid of mold. The only way to get rid of it is tear the house down. Right? If you have mold in your house, what they're going to advise you to do, sell your home. There's no way to get rid of it in 2024. 4,000 years ago, when Leviticus was written, there's mold in the house. You got to tear it down. Right? Like so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gary, it's also my 43rd birthday today, brother.
Happy birthday, Rob. 43. You got me by 2.5 years. Yeah.
There you go. I'm your senior?
Yeah, by 2.5 years. 40. I'll be 41 in August.
Okay. Well, you know what? I have the baby face. I guess I don't have a facial hair, right? So.
Yeah. I got a big chin, so I grow facial hair so my chin doesn't look as big.
Yeah, fair enough. But you're still good.
All right, what did you want to get into, Rob?
More specific, the 4 branches that I'm going to be debating in chem, actually, of the debate that you're going to be moderating: logic, morality, design, epistemology.
Logic, epistemology. What else did you say? Morality, and what else?
Moral and design. That there's order, that order, uniformity, and symmetry in nature proves God.
And that's fine, but we're going to stick to these topics here. I'm going to let you guys kind of do your thing, but we're going to stick to
but I'm also generally, I'm also mean
morality. Yeah, and he goes talking snakes. We're going to push back, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but I'm also talking about in the program right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also talking about the program right now to talk about those 4 things briefly.
Go ahead.
So the first one is my favorite one is morality, because for morality to be objective, the standard has to be non-human. Otherwise, if say, for example, if I say white lies are always wrong, and you say, well, white lies are not always wrong if I'm trying to do a surprise party, or if I don't want to tell my wife that she's overweight when she really is. And then we have to decide, okay, well, who's right, Rob or Gary? Well, that's subjective unless the standard is non-human. Then the standard has to be absolute, and that standard has to be morally perfect and consistent in all of his ways. And again, we call this being God, the non-human, immaterial standard that has created, designed, and put things into time, space, and matter in a way that makes sense to us, because we live in a world where we have to be submitted, obviously, to time, space, and matter, because there is time. It's the year 2024. It's a day 18 of the month of April, and so that's time. And then space, of course, is we have to have somewhere to put the space of the material that exists in the natural world. So whoever made time, space, and matter has to be outside of time, space, and matter, and is himself timeless, spaceless, and immaterial. And we call this being God. And he is a standard of morality because he is himself perfectly moral. So that's why I don't believe the atheist argument that there is. Well, first of all, everyone knows that morality is subjective, because if it was subjective, then you could never say something was wrong, which is, of course, absurd.
Right.
It's yeah. So, like you would say,
and the answer I always give to that is, okay, so 2 + 2 = 4. That is objectively right. It's absolutely right. The standard I use is mathematics.
Absolutely.
2 + 2 = 5
Exactly.
is absolutely wrong. The standard I use is mathematics. Kobe Bryant's better than LeBron James. It's not right or wrong. It's my personal taste. It's my personal preference, right? There's no absolute standard. So is murdering babies more like 2 + 2? Or is it more like Kobe or LeBron?
No.
Which one is it more like? See, now they're in a position where
More
they
like
have
the
to say
first
it's more like 2 + 2, right? But if they say that, then there has
Exactly.
to be ultimate
And
standard.
then
They can't
and
have
then
that.
when they're on
Or
the
they have to say
back,
it's just personal preference, like pizza or tacos or Kobe or LeBron, which is like, you really think that? And they may say
no, they
that,
don't.
and then the conversation's kind of over, right? Or if
Yeah,
someone
the thing
murders
is,
their entire family and say, no, we
they
like to
say
murder
it's more like
families,
2 +
yeah. They have to
and
say
they
it's
say,
like 2
and
+
if
2,
they
but
say
they
it's
can't. Yeah.
because then they have to admit that there's absolutes, and then so either way they're done.
They're done. The only thing they can do
Exactly.
is say, no, murdering babies or genocide is more like Kobe or LeBron. It's just a preference. It's like, so if someone prefers to do genocide of all children, then you don't have a problem with that because that's what they like. They have nothing. Like they're done.
Yeah, I know. Fundamentally unserious people. Like you said, though, it sets them up to say things they know aren't true. They're fundamentally unserious, anti-intellectual people. I mean,
all you have to
if
do
Aaron Ra is like the guy that they think is like the smartest of all the. I mean, maybe Jeffrey Lauder. I'd say Jeffrey Lauder is pretty bright, and Jeffrey Lauder doesn't get caught up in like rhetoric mind trap games, and he doesn't swear, and he's not a rageaholic. Like actually, wait, Aaron Ra is not even an atheist; he's a Satanist now. So
so he's given up on atheism.
You can't be an atheist and a Satanist, right?
Right. So he's given up on that, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are ridiculous.
But he's still his religion is Darwinian evolution. Like Aaron's been on that for years and years.
Okay. I mean,
and he's maybe IQ of 90 tops on a good day.
Yeah, maybe 90 IQ. Yeah. I mean, I watched a video of him, and he was saying that.
You see the video of him with me and him?
Yeah, I did. But I watched this video of him, and he said that Jesus wasn't the savior because the Bible said that Jesus would be a Jew and Jesus would be from the tribe of Judah. And I'm like, so you've never even read the genealogy? Like, you know what he was killed for? Being king of the Jews. They don't know anything. Like, they don't know anything. It's like, so you don't think Jesus is from the tribe of Judah? So you've never even read first chat. Okay.
Here's the thing: it's like they have the way they create false dualities. So, for example, one of Jesus' names, as we all know, is Emmanuel, which translates means God with us. Yeah. But Jesus also had the name Jesus Christ, which means Jesus means he who saves his people from his sin. Christ means anointed one. So he put it all together. The Son of Man, who is Jesus, is the God with us, who saves his people from his sins and is anointed by God. But he thinks it's either Emmanuel or it's Jesus, the guy who's anointed and saves people from his sin, but it can't be both. In his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no problem with us. We see that there's both. And he's from the line of David, and he's from the tribe of Judah, and his kingdom will have no end. And he's God in the flesh. John 1. So, and he's the Son of Man. Mark 14:62 harkens back to Daniel 7:13. And John 8:58 harkens back to Exodus 3:14. So he's both the Son of Man, and Jesus is also Yahweh.
But remember, these are people who sit in their basement, watch porno, watch X-Men pictures, and play video games. These aren't serious people who are on a mission for truth.
And they're not reading the stuff that we're talking about.
As soon as you start talking to one, right? Like, here's a great way to stump any atheist. An atheist makes a claim, you go, explain. They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing.
Just one word. Just explain.
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 Elaborate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't. I have nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't even understand science. That's not how evolution works. Talking snakes. Like, I mean, it's just ridiculous. All right, we gotta wrap this up. Rob, you're gonna have your debate. When's your debate with Cam? It's June what?
3rd. I just wanted to go through. I guess if we do 5 minutes more.
Oh, sure. We got 5 more minutes. Sure.
Okay, so we've already discussed the morality thing, so we don't need to do that. And then we've discussed the design thing, so we need to do that. And the logic thing, I'll save that for last. But we'll just briefly discuss epistemology, which means the study of knowledge, or the theory of the study of knowledge. Or to put it in layman terms, how do you know what you know is true? So how can you know that atheism is true when you can't prove it, because you can't be at all places at all times, and you can't be in the space where you need to be to prove that there is no God because he's immaterial. So you have no epistemology to stand on because you can't, it's unprovable, unverifiable, and unknowable. You can't know that there is no God because you don't have all knowledge. The only way to disprove God is to have all knowledge. In other words, the only way to disprove God is to be God, which is, of course, circular absurdity. And it just shoots itself in the foot. And then the logic claim is just, well, I mean, if I'm just a product of natural processes through naturalism, Darwinian evolution, nothing I do is logical, because in order to use logic, I have to weigh things against the other. And the only way to do that is to have the ability to analyze, if this is this and this is this, then this is this. But naturalism rules that out, because naturalism, all I have is determinism. So I can't use logic, because logic is non-existent. It's either everything is purely determined, or I'm able to weigh things against each other, but it can't be both, because that defies the law of non-contradiction, which means this thing and this thing can't be equally true at the same time. So you can't have logic and determinism be equally true at the same time. That defies the law of non-contradiction.
There'd be no laws of logic, because a law requires a lawgiver. You can't have logic because you can't have logic in an atheist world for a litany of reasons.
Yeah. The only thing you get in an atheist worldview is in 2 words: circular absurdity. That's it. That's it.
It's what you're reduced to in an atheist worldview, is just making absolutely ridiculous claims, right? And my favorite thing is, you're going to listen to goat herders from 3,000, 2,000 years ago. Okay, well, first off, like, the goat herders, I mean,
you're so sorry.
Two, I would argue goat herding is more complex and requires more thought than watching porno and playing video games in your basement all day. Like, what do you do?
Like, of course it does. Yeah, at least they're being productive.
But they're atheists. They don't. These are the.
Remember, I asked you the question. I've asked you this question in previous. I've asked you this question in previous classes. See if it changed. Name one good thing that atheism has produced. Just one. One.
Still nothing. Still haven't observed anything. And we're gonna start this show off with that question every time. If anyone knows, let me know, guys. I appreciate your time. April 18th, 2024. This is Fort Worth Crosstalk. Follow me at FTW_Crosstalk on Twitter, and Rob at RobLovesJC. Rob's debate is coming up in June. From Texas to the world, thank you, and God bless.